Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to One of the Pacific Admirals edition. So, I don't know what it is, but apparently I have something of a coffee high, which is the first me. It usually doesn't happen, but I thought I'd use this energy, and we'll get into it. Hello there, Emil, how you doing, my friend? 20 seconds in, you're already showing up. Notification squad on point, right? Okay, so I have been doing some work off-screen, basically trying to work out the convoy system. Which I've actually done a good job of. We will be able to have a efficient and automated convoy system. So what I'll do is I'll just show that over here that you can see I've had to divide these up. There's still a few more to divide up, but I'm going to leave the ones that are carrying a good amount of, well, resources until they arrive at port, deposit their loads, and then I'll take them from there. Right. Okay. So we have a few things. Yeah, Discord notification. Yeah, I put it up there. Right, okay, so computer CS. Now what this means is continuous supply. So now what these guys will do is they're loading resources here at the moment, but then they'll go from Shanghai to Nagasaki and they'll offload, they'll return to Shanghai, load, offload, load, offload. You can see here, so the continuous supply for resources. Return cargo is none. Now, I could change this to be supplies, oil, fuel, etc. Which is actually really good. What we could do in the future is we could have it basically like, we have like the Dutch East Indies supplying us with oil to Japan, and then from Japan we take supplies back, potentially. Always a good thing, always something to bear in mind. But we have this set up across the different ports as well, especially over here as well. What I've also done is I've started to separate the vast majority of our cargo ships. Yeah. See you in 60, mate. Have fun. Okay, so I've actually started to divide a lot of the cargo ships as well, like the vast majority. So I've sorted them by speed and also their carry capacity. Like these ones here, they have a good capacity. I mean, that's not huge, but what I've done is anything with a decent capacity or low speed is going to go to a port nearby and carry supplies as they, well, resources, as they don't need to move very far or very quickly. Anything else that has a low speed, I mean, these aren't too bad. I'm trying to find some now. I have some somewhere. Still not here. Where are they? I do wish... where are we? They'll be here somewhere. I'll have an example somewhere that I can show. Ah, here we go. Right, okay, so see these guys over here, they have a very low cargo capacity. So they're not really worth it. They have a low endurance, low speed, low cargo capacity. It's honestly not even really worth it. So what we're going to do with these kind of ships is we're going to have them converted over to patrol boats. Now, even with their low speed, just having some anti-submarine warfare capabilities is actually going to be really good. So the vast majority are going to be sent to Osaka/Kyoto. And we'll have them converted over. We do have a few already there. I'm going to have them... Let's see... I've named one of them. Yeah, these guys. Also, what I'm doing is I'm sending ships with higher speeds and good capacity, as well as endurance, to Port Arthur, as well as Toyohara, or at least over this way to Hokkaido. The reason being, we have a lot of resources that we need to move pretty quickly. Well, we need to move a large amount of them, and being able to move quickly while carrying a large amount is very efficient, it's fuel efficient. So we're going to do that. Yeah, the Rio de Janeiro really got messed up there. So we'll disband her, she'll go back, well, she'll go into the actual port for proper repairs. So yeah, they're going to head over that way. Okay, so I'm going to have the cargo ships sent this way to join this group, the patrol boat conversions. So you can see here that they have very little, but they can still be converted and made useful. So that's what we're going to do with them. We're going to have them act as our patrol boats. So we'll have a bunch of them that we can convert over. Hello there, Black Mesa, how are you doing, my friend? So yes, that is the beginning of the automated supply network, well, the continuous resource convoy network. They're also going to start to set it up to the Philippines as well as Indochina, Malaya, the Dutch East Indies in general, basically. Now, I've also gone ahead and, through suggestion from the Battle Group Gamer, let's see. Hello there, Truth, how you doing, my friend? Okay, yeah, so we'll take the H6 over here. I've actually set a search arc on here to make sure that we actually do have a good chance of finding out whatever the heck it is over there. Okay. So we do have a good few options here. And now, ideally, I've done this as well with the level bombers over here. Now, there's not many of them, and they could potentially get mauled by any fighters. So it's one of those of, do I really let them go out there? But what I'm going to do actually is make a change here. So I'm going to get rid of the combat air patrol, make this a long-range combat air patrol, about 40 of them. And yes, they already have the drop tanks on, so they should have good range. And if they can escort, which they should be able to escort from here, and help those bombers on a long-range mission, that would be very, very good, actually. So, that is something that we can do here and now. As far as it goes with the other frontiers, it's a little bit more interesting. There's a lot to be done, and we don't have the huge amount of resources to do it. Now, Tokyo itself is not producing for the time being, so Tokyo's production has halted. I am considering actually just halting production in Tokyo to allow those resources to build up. If we take a look over here, no, only 5,164 tons of supplies. I'm very much considering just having Tokyo halt just for the time being. What we need to do is get these resources moving here ASAP. If we go to our industry, we go to our heavy industry, we go to, well, we'll sort by amount of heavy industry. Here we go. Now, Tokyo is over here. Right, size is probably a good idea. Yes, here we go, size. So, Osaka and Kyoto aren't producing either. God damn. Okay. We are having a lot of issues in terms of supplies here, well, in terms of resources. And the reason for that is we need to move these resources. These resources aren't where they need to be. So this is an actual real shortage of supplies, well, resources in Japan itself. So what we need to do here then is actually be very careful. So Tokyo and Osaka are running out of supplies. Well, they're out of resources for the time being. So we face a difficult question here. Do we halt production? Or do we continue? The thing is, if we continue, we are going to be running on a deficit, so production is going to stall continuously until we get the resource situation sorted. But at the end of the day, we can sort that situation out. It is going to be done. It's a very big shame, but we will do this. It seems like the resource has been pulling in the wrong areas. So if I look, and we figured out where they are. Okay. So, Sapporo has a huge amount of resources. That's a lot. We need to move that to Japan itself. Saigon, Port Arthur, and Hong Kong, they have huge amounts of resources that we need to move ASAP. Kobe has a lot of resources over here. Right, okay, so thankfully they will move to Osaka. I'd imagine it's just going to take us some time to get these resources here. But we have implemented a more efficient convoy system. We've also increased the amount of convoys. So we need to move, oh god, we need to move a vast majority of resources very quickly. So if we go over here, if I could see the resource requirement, that would be superb. I do feel like I'm learning a lot more as of late when we seem to encounter these problems, which is actually really bloody fantastic. Right, daily supply. I need to figure out how much I'm using here. Bum 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 bum. Right, resource history of Honshu. Yeah, they've really gone down here. It seems like from here, I'd imagine it's probably with all the factory expansions that we've been doing, that we've lost a lot of resources. But this is a real bad situation. You can see that we have rapidly eaten through our resources here. So our stockpiles are rather low. I mean, we do have it, it's just we don't have it in the right locations. Yeah, and you know what? I actually do bloody adore that. I think that's actually an incredibly cool system. So you can see oil is going down as well. I mean, oil is a situation that we need to really get our act together. I mean, it's going down slower than the resource situation, but it's still going down. Supplies have gone up, of course. So it might be a case of, do we try to stop supply production? But we'll see. Okay. So what I've figured out here. Resource use. Okay. Yeah, so if you take a look here, then the resources in Japan, at least in Honshu, would last about 4 days. Give or take. That's nothing. Really have nothing. We have about 219 days of oil left. Our oil usage is very low compared to our resource usage. So we are producing 102,200 tons of resources. We are using 213,000 tons. So we need to move well over 100,000 tons of resources every single day into Japan, into Honshu. So we need to figure out how we're going to do that, and it's going to be a delightful challenge. I'm honestly looking forward to this. So what we'll have to do then is we have to figure out how long it's going to take for our resource convoys to move. Now, thankfully, we can move a huge amount of resources all at once. For example, this one over here with the 53 ships, it seems I've actually set that back to human control, so we'll put that back there. Okay, so they're going to head over to Nagasaki. Yeah, to Nagasaki. They are going to take resources. Okay, continuous supply. So we are loading resources. We are carrying, at the moment, 150,000 tons. The issue is it takes us a good amount of time to actually have these resources ferried, well, loaded. So what we probably could do with doing is actually taking some shipping engineers that we do have spare across the Empire and having them sent to these key ports if we can do so. Now, Tokyo isn't a key port. It isn't going to be receiving any of the maritime traffic. So what I need to do is figure out what we have available to us. So if I look at engineers, Singapore detachment, aviation support. Okay, so they're actually pretty good, those guys. Base force. Right, these are Air Force units. I'm looking for, well, the opposite. Naval. Whoops, just managed to... Wow. There we go. Back in the room. Okay, so we do have a good amount of transports here that I need to look at as well. There's some bases I haven't... right, here we go. Ship and Engineer Regiment. So they need to be strategically moved ASAP. Now, what I could do is I do have a huge amount of resources around here at Hokkaido and Sakhalin. So what exactly happens when and if the Soviets invade? Well, what we'll do then is, just in a moment, as I'm going to sort through that, we need to figure out where we're going to be moving the vast majority of our resources. So we have a shipping engineer regiment over here at Nagoya. What I could actually do then is actually speed up the resource issue over on the other side. So if I go in here, we do have... Yeah, we don't have a shipping engineer regiment. So if I go to the actual port here, port capacity, rearm level, Right, can I see that information elsewhere? That's aviation. Naval support, okay, 320. I'm going to assume that comes from the naval headquarters, potentially? Yeah, naval support. Okay, so what I need to do then is, if we take a look at this, I mean, this can handle a shitload. It's not the largest port as of yet, but what we're doing is actually we will soon have a size 9 port at Shanghai, which is absolutely incredibly beautiful. So what we need to do then is continue to expand the size of these ports so that we can actually move and load more, move faster, do more. Now, Nagasaki is a size 10, I do believe. It's actually a size 8 at the moment. So we need to continue to expand that. We need to grow that very, very quickly. And we do have a few flights of aircraft over here, actually. Good amount of them serviceable as well. What are the pilots like? Naval search is actually pretty decent. So in fairness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put up the training. There we go. Okay, naval search. I'm going to have you transferred out, actually. I would like to have you based... let's see. We do have a lot of submarines out this way, so I'll base them down here at South Point to Kyushu. So I'm going to drop down the amount of search, put this on, reduce the altitude down to about 3,000 feet. There we go. We do have some fighters here too. Now, what I could do is I could upgrade these to zeros. So I will do so. Upgrade is allowed. Choose a 0. Now, I could upgrade them right now. Which I'll do. There we go. Placements on. Okay. So we'll use these bad boys to actually train our fighters, then, I suppose. Lovely jubbly. Actually, no. Are they training? Yes, they're training escort. Good. Okay. So yes, to answer your question about the Soviets. So we need to maintain a garrison of at least, absolute minimum is 8,000 sword value in Manchukuo. At the moment I have 9,423 there. I've taken quite a lot away from Manchukuo. So the Soviets are not active as of this moment. Okay. So we need to move more resources. We do have a huge amount over there at Port Arthur. We do need many convoys down this way to Hokkaido and Sakhalin. There's a huge amount of resources there that we need to get into Japan. We absolutely need to move them. So what I need to do then is look for transports across the Empire and use them. We really do need to use them. And it might even be a case of seeing what we have available. For example, over here we have a large amount of ships. So if I go to cargo, turn retirement off, and let's sort. So all to AK, sort by speed. Right, okay. So you can see that endurance is very poor. Very poor at the moment. If I sort by cargo, you can see that we have, well, this one is very heavily damaged. This one's damaged too. We can see that we have some ships over here that have a decent cargo capacity. Not a huge amount, but still something that is usable. But we'll have to do what we can. Do you know, do we want to know what happens? Yeah, it's a good question, actually. It'd be really bad. Really bad. We wouldn't last a long time at all. We'd be very quickly overrun. I don't know if it'd be so quick in this year, but it would happen. We would be overrun. Okay, so we need to get fuel into this area too. We are going to be using our planes to help us. I think I have dispatched, or I am going to dispatch a fuel. Right, tanker, learning complete. That is a lot of fuel, but that's a good amount for us, so we'll dispatch 2 destroyers that are decent speed. Actually, I need to put in a couple more destroyers. I'm going to put in another 2 destroyers here as well. So that's 4 destroyers to guard this 1 tanker. You're going to head over there to that base. So what we need to do here is really establish ourselves in a much better way. We do have a large amount of craft over here. Issue is obviously the fuel situation, which is a little bit better. We do have we do have some fuel remaining to us. But what I need to do then is, in all honesty, I could just set up a few automatic convoys and have them take the fuel down this way. What's up, Sultan? How you doing, my friend? We've reordered the convoy system, which we will see shortly. Right, these are actually quite good. So sort, AK. I want them sorted by speed. Okay, 18, 15, 14, 14, 14. 12's not bad. But these guys are going to head back to Japan. I need these. These are very good, well, craft, basically. And they're going to head over to Toyohara. See, this is their range. It's pretty massive. The 14s could probably move to... Well, the 14s aren't really required over there. I could have the 14s assigned to Port Arthur, or to Shanghai, or even to Hong Kong. Hong Kong would require some very fast-moving ships. It might even be one of those where it'd be easier to move from Hong Kong to Shanghai, Shanghai to Hong Kong to Shanghai, rather than Hong Kong to Nagasaki, Nagasaki to Hong Kong. It's not a huge amount of difference though, so it might be one of those where... Actually, no, it would be better just to go from Hong Kong to Nagasaki. Yeah, so just to show you, we do have computer continuous supply convoys here. So this one is going to head to Nagasaki after loading up at Shanghai with resources, offload resources at Nagasaki, head to Shanghai, pick up resources, so on and so forth. Okay, so over in China in itself, what are we going to do? There we go. There we go. Right, so I believe what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to send ship and support. So these forces in Nagoya, they're not being used right now, so I'm going to have them sent. So ship and engineer regiment, which is actually a lot. Naval support is very good. Okay, so they're going to be moved to Nagasaki. And then we'll see what we need to do, whether we need to move them from Nagasaki to elsewhere. So if I list all my ground units, we go to engineers, the Imperial Japanese Navy, I'd imagine. What I want to do then is sort them by function. Port unit. Naval support, very high there. So, Hiroshima. Why is Hiroshima given so many? Okay, yeah, these in Hiroshima need to be moved out then. So I could move one to Shimanaki, another to Fukuoka. Yuko, I don't know how the heck you pronounce it. We do have submarines over here, a bunch of submarines I do need to send out. And they're actually high speed, which is very, very nice. So I could do a lot with them. I mean, what do you guys suggest? Would you send them to the Midway blockade, or even to Dutch East Indies? Dutch East Indies could be rather interesting. Yeah, so we'll have them organized and made ready. But what I will do here then is I'm going to actually take the engineers. So ship and engineer as well as the port unit. I don't need this port. I'm not using it really. So send one to Shimonitsky, how the heck you say it, port unit. I'm gonna have that sent to Hirosaki. So that is a port capacity of, right, so Ominato. They're gonna be sent that way. Combined fleet headquarters. Okay. Now send them near your base for the... Okay. We do have some reconnaissance to go on over there, so we'll try and find out. Right, ship and engineer regiment. These are ready to move as well. Stop that knife, how you doing, my friend? You're a little bit far behind. Okay, the second port unit is going to be sent over here to Fukuoka. How the heck you say it? It's one of those, I think having resources unloaded is better for me than loading them. At the end of the day, it's going to become a choke point otherwise. Okay, let's take these submarines then, shall we? That one's damaged, so I'll leave that one. Yeah, they're all ready to go. They do have a decent AA armament. They don't actually have aircraft, but that's fine. So what we'll do then is we'll have them sent to, let's see, do we have them sent to the Hawaii blockade, or do we have them sent to, in fairness, the range isn't that great. It's good enough to operate around Australia. But in fairness, it might not be a bad idea to operate around Singapore. But I think we need to cover Australia. We don't have that many submarines out this way, and if we can have more submarines, that's going to work very well. So we'll have them sent to Truk. Or they remain on station. Okay. I have myself quite a few mine laying there. Cruiser mine layer. Acting as a air escort. Okay. These guys, these are cruiser mine layers. Well, tenders anyway. So I need to have them made ready for the future. But I don't have a location to send them as of yet. Okay. Auxiliary repair. Auxiliary repair. These are very handy, actually. The Strait, indeed, the Horn Strait. We'll send them down that way. That'd be quite a nice location. Okay. So we're sending out some shipping engineers down that way. Right, that works for me. At least we have these shipping engineers being sent out where they can do some damn good. Okay, so we do obviously have a large amount of aircraft that way. Kiributai is being tasked to head down this way. So our patrol craft over here should have a good chance, or at least a better chance of picking up whatever the heck this is. So we'll go from there. So we don't have many resources left in Japan, which is a shame. We need to actually boost our number. Now I noticed there's this group over here to the north, which I don't have much information about. I have put together a surface combat force of 1 destroyer and 2 armed merchant vessels. Now they wouldn't do very good against this sort of threat. So what we need to do then is look at what we have spare that we can send out that way. I do have this task force, well, I do have a task force built up here that I could use to hunt down enemy submarines. I could even use it for hunting down enemy merchant vessels, quite effectively as well, to be fair, which is quite good. I mean, that is actually quite true. I could actually have them sent out. The thing is, I actually don't even really need to send out the seaplane carriers. I think what we'll do then is we'll leave the seaplane carriers here. They're far too valuable to me at the moment. So we'll leave them here. What we'll do then is I could have them sent out this way. I think what we'll do is we'll have them sent to Saipan for the time being, and then we'll decide what to do with them properly. Right, these are rather low endurance anyway. Why don't you stay and take down the bombers? Well, we have a far larger threat. This could very well be a carrier. I do not know. We've not seen anything listed as large as a battleship for a long time. So it may very well... It's not going to be a battleship. It might very well be a heavy cruiser. It could be anything, resembling that. It could even be a carrier. So we must act accordingly. And we're not far away from the situation anyway. In fairness, I could head down this way, but I'd rather not. I think it depends on which direction these guys head. Because if we travel down the Java Sea, we do run a large risk of being attacked by the naval aircraft down this way. Well, the enemy's aircraft. So we do need to be very careful. Okay, so with that done in China, let's take a look. We need more resources. They're to head to the north over that way, which is good. Okay. Are they set to combat or are they set to movement? Right, they're set to movement, that's great. Over here we need to continue these deliberate attacks. Continue deliberate attacks over here, we'll wear them down. We have our forces heading in the Philippines to deal with these last remaining troops to the north. Bataan, we're going to have to starve them to death, there's simply no other way. In fairness, I could do with some actual mine sweepers being created over here. Could create midget submarines if I wanted to, which would be rather funny. Okay. But we do need to conquer the rest of the Philippines. I should be making that a possibility. Other than that, not a huge amount to do. Palmyra is actually quite quiet, which I do find surprising. Submarines are returning from the Australian waters back to Truk and that area. We need to sort out that area. We need to sort out the Marshall Islands and all these islands over here. They're not very well looked after. But we'll go forward and we'll see what the results are for this turn, shall we? Okay. There we go, we actually occupy the base. Fantastic. Which is very nice, actually. Except there, Norbert, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, so we've occupied the base there with those troops that we landed in the last stream, so that's good. At least they have somewhere that can be settled down. Hopefully there's supplies there, which would be great for them. Goe Butai is escorting the division down to the Dutch East Indies. Well, a division down to the Dutch East Indies. I'm very tempted to actually land north of Palembang. Mostly due to the sheer amount of aircraft on Java. There's a lot of aircraft there to contend with. And we do run a high risk operation if we go near there. Speed this up. Okay, escort abandons the search. Bloody Finback. Yeah, truck and the surrounding islands, we need to really just work out what we're going to do. I think I might set up a few automatic convoys from Japan down that way. Just to take some actual fuel down there, because we really do need it. Fuel and supply probably in good numbers. I'd only have to send like a small convoy, really, every now and then. Okay. We got very lucky there. Very, very lucky. We're probably going to lose a few transporters. I simply don't have enough escorts for all the ships are moving. We can see the larger amount of activity around Japan now. I mean, thankfully we do have patrol boats in place. It'd be nice if we had more aircraft. But eventually we will have things like that. I'm very unsure as to what to do with my seaplane carriers. I don't really want to send them out in forces where they do have the potential to be picked off. At the end of the day, they're very valuable to me as they can be converted into light carriers. So in fairness, what I could potentially do is have them operate close to my own waters, well, close to my own ports, within the actual minefield, really, and just have them run reconnaissance flies. Again, that's going to be... okay, we got very lucky there. So all the actual proper convoys will have escorts. I will try to achieve that. Okay, we do have our armed merchant vessel over there by the Aleutian Isles. Right. Construction regiment. Seems as though they've actually abandoned the base. If I do achieve a victory here, I could then easily take control of the base over here. Which, in all honesty, I do want that. So it looks like it's an airfield, actually. Wow, 190 casualties. That is a lot there. Cavalry Corps. Issue is we'd have to cross the river to get to them, so that makes it quite difficult to reach them. We'd have to approach them from from the east. Oh, sorry, from the west. They do have a large amount of those bloody Mitchells. I think what I'm going to do is actually going to send auxiliary aircraft tenders down to that airbase over there. We might be able to then work on the aircraft, otherwise we are going to have to send AA. Nowhere near as many submarines around Honolulu at the moment. Luckily we can change that situation. Right, we might actually get damaged here. Yeah. Are we on the surface here? Looks like the submarine's going to go down. We've got 2 hits there. That's not a good situation that we want there. The Allies are suddenly becoming superbly effective at anti-submarine warfare. And that's a real big problem. Yeah. I don't really have an answer to that for the time being. Okay, at least these forces are moving. Yes, looks like they'll crack quite easily. Ooh, they don't surrender either. Sorry, they don't retreat. No, we never actually found the carriers. We haven't yet sighted another carrier since. Okay, we might consider a shock attack next turn. Though another deliberate attack is probably the best idea, and then a shock attack. There's still a considerable amount of force there, in fairness. Yeah, definitely deliberate attacks. Air support is definitely going to be required to break them. Oh no, this is over here, isn't it? Okay. That one's a pain in the arse. Yeah, shock attack could probably manage this. Are they going to retreat? They do retreat. Fantastic. Good, so I can chase them down, take this base too, and defeat them utterly. Good. Right, deliberate attack. I think what I might do is actually take a brigade, or... yeah, take the brigade and send them over there to garrison that city. This is a rough fight. The 100th Chinese Corps is actually quite effective. But we'll keep wearing it down. Shame that we didn't have the actual carrier, well, division over there. How long game time since the last carrier was spotted? Bloody hell. I don't think we've seen a carrier since December. And we're now in April? Hi, but we'll continue. We'll eventually find one. They will eventually reveal themselves. Yeah, just look at all the actual convoys around, well, flotillas. Okay, there we go. So let's look at Tokyo. Tokyo has 110,000 tons now. No, so that's 11,045 tons. Not a huge amount. 38,000. That's better. So we need more and more and more and more and more. Vastly more. You can see these guys are all being sent out, which is great. Right, computer. Okay. 12. 10. 10. Okay. So Task Force 461 and 456 are to merge. That could go into another task force. Okay. Let's take a quick look. In fairness, what I might want to do is actually send some of these faster moving ones, because it seems here that we don't have the actual required amount of resources in Korea here. Seems that we've actually put them out of business for the time being. See, I could put them on anti-submarine warfare. It's just an issue of the pilots they're not very good. They're not trained in it. So they're going to stay on training. We do have patrol boats out there at the end of the day. I'm going to keep those pilots training. It's worth a lot more than just trying to get lucky and hitting us up and just continually failing. We've got more chance with patrol boats than anything, so we'll continue that. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to have these guys head into Shimonoseki. Shimonoseki. I don't know how the heck you pronounce it. They're going to move that way. Yeah, that is what killed the Germans. It's just I don't have that many aircraft. Our crews are really well trained in that. They can get better, but they get better through training. I do have pilots training. Okay. These guys, they have low capacity, so that's fine. They can move back and forth quite quickly. So let's see. We'll set this up. Here we go. Computer control. Actually. I think we need to give them some resources on board first. Hello there, Krishnov. How you doing, my friend? So yeah, they'll load some resources first of all. God damn, they're slow. Why are they so slow? Yep, head in there. That's quite low capacity, it's quite low endurance as well, actually. Okay. I need to move more resources. There's a good amount over here at Kijo. But what we'll do then is we'll have these guys head out this way. There's so many resources down this way, I need to go to where it is. Thankfully, we do have some resources on their way. Okay. Right. So we need to cancel this load-in at the moment. We'll have them sent to Nagasaki, then they can head to Port Arthur. Right, so just ignore Task Force 17. Actually, they're all pretty similar speeds. Okay. In fairness, that higher speed would be useful, but they need to carry out a lot of resources very quickly. Right, can't work as of yet. So that's fine, have them load these resources, then we can set it up properly. Alright, relatively low capacity. Okay. Sapporo. Okay, loading has been completed. I mean, this speed is all over these guys. Which is a shame. So what we'll do then is we'll have them sent to Ominato, so they can unload, and then we'll figure it out with them. Right, unloading. Yeah, these guys head to Sapporo. Learn complete. Okay. What I need to do is I need to get them down this way. Oh. No, I'll have them sent down this way. It's going to be incredibly risky, but they will be well, they will be escorted at some point. Yeah, this is pretty quick. There we go. That's set up on automation now. What they'll also do is, once they do get in the port and they actually start to be, well, start running low on fuel, is they'll load up on fuel and then head back out. So it's a good system. Once we have it completely under wraps, it's going to be very, very good for us. I wish we'd had it from start. We would have had far, far more resources flowing into Japan. Right, what do I have here? Do I have anything? I don't. I need more transports. I need vastly, vastly more. That speed's not bad. Honestly, at this point, I need anything. I will put 2 escorts with them. Right, that speed's great. Okay. All of them barring that one. They're going to be sent to Port Arthur. From there, they can be put to use in the convoy system. Frankly, I need as many cargo ships as I can get. But yeah, frankly, it is that case. We need more. Right, that's a small one that's heading out to Tokyo. Right, okay, these guys need to head to Port Arthur. I mean, then again, I could have them head from... Yeah, it's a long way from Port Arthur to... Fukuoka. And a lot of resources are coming this way. We just need to find more and more and more ships. Like, there's large amounts over here that we need in Japan. And in fairness, I could probably do with setting up convoys from Formosa. These aren't great. Some of them are better, but these aren't great. Though I will have them being used. Lots of resources there. Right over there. Plenty over here. See what we can do with them. Oh wow, okay. Actually, these are really quite good. These high-speed ones, very, very good. Right, these 2 sub-chasers can go with them. They're not exactly great for endurance, but we'll be able to use them. Okay, you're loaded up. Well, aircraft. auxiliary here. Okay. They could all be converted into patrol boats, to be fair. They're going to hand over here as well. So frankly, we have a extreme need for resources. Hero is 11 days away from being repaired. Superb. So about just under 2 weeks really we'll have Hero as well, so we'll have another full carrier ready for action. Which is good, which is very, very good. At least these crews will be well rested. At the end of the day, this is going to be great for us. Allow us to have a lot more capacity for, well, firepower. Okay. She's not too far from an upgrade either. What would that do for her? If I go over to here, ship upgrades. This is actually something to take into consideration. So within the next 2 months we'll have these upgrades. Let's take a look at overdue. Ah. Quite a lot actually. Yeah, these are worth doing. Increases the AA armament. Yeah, more depth charge is fantastic. Okay, that's really important then. So if we take a look over here then, Shikaku. Ooh, radar. Radar, radar, radar. Radar is incredibly important. So Shikaku will be equipped with radar, Zuikaku will be equipped with radar, and in all honesty, what I could do then is have Shokaku and Zuikaku as like the leads of their own flotillas, as at the end of the day, if they actually do have radar, that is by far the most incredibly useful thing. So they will be needed. Yeah, minimum shipyard is 25. Definitely need to use them. Okay. Hero. Wow, look at that. So we reduce the amount of the Type 96, well, these ones on the left, from 12 to 9, 4 to 14, so a massive increase there, and increase there. That's really nice, actually. So we'll increase her AA armament. So her AA value at the moment is 606, then becomes 720, which is actually really quite nice. Oh wow, you can actually see the values there. Wow, so in 44 she'll have 954. Very, very good. Her capacity is just freaking amazing though. I love that. Okay. This does concern me greatly as we've lost sight of them. They will be here somewhere. These guys, I don't want them heading out that way. I'd rather them stay around here. Let's see. So we have that base. We have the base here. Only, yeah, there's no supplies. I don't know what's over here. Okay. I need support in this area. Alright, still loading. Ooh, situation report. How to explain? Right, 1 second. Okay, so the situation report is much the same situation as Singapore, though we did lose a few destroyers by mistake there due to the mines over Singapore. The situation in China is evolving. We have won a great battle over here. These troops are separated, but what we'll do then is we'll actually just, well, divide the division. So, 2/3 will head, well, 1/3 could head this way, in fairness. The other 2/3 will, well, they could handle that. Send a detachment that way too. There we go. Right, it's a difficult situation here, but we need to continue to push them. Break them, really. Okay. Deliberate attack again, just to be sure. I don't want to go crazy. Ah. That's artillery. Shite. Okay, reinforcements are needed here. Luckily, we do have them on the way. What I'll do just in case is I'm going to have one of them move. It's a shame that the vast majority of them are already loaded up. God damn. Right, they're not loaded up, however. Right, stay here. Okay, that could be bad. I don't know what the unit is, but it could be bad. Significant amount already. God damn, they're good. Right, you need to go. I'm gonna give you a escort. Okay, we have fuel. Ah. That's good. So we have 2 destroyers and a light cruiser. That's very effective, actually. Right, what do we have aboard? Well, onshore. Currently playing Rise of Prussia. Second time trying to play through the full 7 Years' Wars, the Prussians. Wow, that must be really interesting. We did see something this way. Now, thankfully, we do have a few ships over here, so they could be well protected. But they need to arrive. Not long until they do, to be fair. Right, can't do much about... Well, actually, I could potentially do something about that. What do we have here? Light cruiser, supposedly. I'm concerned about the lack of sighting of anything over here. I was really sighted. But we'll see. Alright, go Butai is over here. Okay. There's a lot of fuel here, actually. Interesting, I wonder where I could send that. Okay, quite a lot of ships here with different speeds. That's pretty awesome. I might have to take a look at it myself in the future. Alright, let's transfer out these lower. There we go. Start to load resources over here at Hong Kong. Nice. They are very, very useful. Have them sent to Port Arthur. Right, the 12s can be used. Not a huge amount of endurance, but could share that fuel out quite easily. $300,000 tons, I believe. Yeah, move them here. Low capacity, low speed, low endurance, but at the end of the day I'll send them over here to load up and then they can become actually useful. Even if they then head back to Osaka afterwards. Okay, load complete. Ah, where to land indeed. Osthaven, I believe, is the best spot. So we'll go for Osthaven. It's a difficult one because I really don't know. I think while we do not have actual sight of anything over this way, I will have Kiributai around here. We do have troops around here. So I think having these guys in this area of operation is probably the most useful thing for them. Okay, move out, Keshi. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have plenty of resources in Saigon that I need to move. Plenty. Okay. These are very, very, very useful. Actually, I have a decent amount of high-speed transport, which is pretty damn handy. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's only a small amount of resources that we could carry. It's about 33,000 tons. It's just one of those. I think these guys do have the speed and endurance. I mean, they're good to operate from here, to be fair. I think it's a ways to have the 18s and the 15s act with the 14s. So what we'll do then is we'll split them up further. I could have a... it's a difficult one, actually. I need... God. They might as well operate all together. They're not in sufficient numbers to be safe alone. Give them some escorts. I have a 14 in here as well, but we'll get them loaded up. What's remaining, we'll just round up and load up. Lots of damage ships here. Have them sent to Saigon. Yeah, what we're doing here is we're just trying to round up as many ships as possible to make use of. We need to get fuel over here. Actually, there is fuel here, so they should be able to... yeah. Left click for fuel. Yeah. It's the size of the pod, it's going to take a long time, but once they are refueled, them can use them. Transport some supplies, well, resources from the Philippines, really. Okay, the 9th Division is not far away now, which is great news. Shame once they arrive it'll be an assault, but that's fine. We'll make do. Okay. Need to soften them up over here then. I need craft support down this way. Really, really do. That's dangerous. But we'll make the best of it. Loading complete. Let's have you move over there to Shanghai then. Then they can come back, load up another one, and go back. Right, they're very good actually. Right, they need to head to Port Arthur. Yeah, you can imagine. There's a lot more tonnage. I suppose the difficulty is as well... the British Navy was larger. They did have help as well. I mean, the Americans were helping them with that too. The Germans were operating from a, well, much more difficult situation. And you look at Japan. Japan had a whole lot of these to like launch submarines from. Imagine Germany had like a small amount of that. Well, that's it, I suppose. I mean, at the end of the day, like War Plan Orange really did come into effect. I mean, the land actions obviously did play that part, but it all came down to like a naval victory. Just the strangling of the Japanese economy, really. Okay, good, here we go. So there, Snake, how you doing, my friend? Current situation is we are obviously low on resources in Japan. We're setting up the automated convoy system all over the Empire, really. So things are going to improve. 14s. I think I'll have the 14 sent to Port Arthur, actually. So I'll send them to Port Arthur. I'll put an escort with them if I have one. I mean, even just one is better than nothing. Right, then the 12s can work together. Is that just some 14s in there? Oh, that's patrol boats. 101. 101. Right, combine them. Hello there, Rez. How you doing, my friend? Okay, 28 ships. 94,000 tons of supplies, that's fine. Load resources. Once they're loaded, we can set up the automated convoy system. But yeah, we are moving a much larger amount of resources now. We will be moving a much larger amount of resources into Japan. Okay. You can head over that way. Yeah, the U-boats went up against a lot more escorts, you are right. I mean, the Japanese convoy system really wasn't very well planned. They weren't really capable of dealing with submarines as well as the British were, or Americans, of course. Right, combine 17 and 151. Throwing a sub-chaser in there. Nice. Right. They're going to load lots and lots of resources. So we'll have that set up on automation. You can head over to Sapporo. Yeah, they can head to Hakodate. Sapporo. Right, load and complete. Yeah, just look at all these transports moving. I bet the American submarines are like, oh my god, there's too much choice! Okay, they're heading over this way, so we'll have them refuel. Not seeing much activity from our aircraft over this way. Just look at all the bloody Oscars. That's a lot of Oscars. Huge bloody amount of them. Loving it, really. Taking us a long time to get to that, but we are finally bloody there. Okay, looks like our forces have arrived. So we'll have them run into combat. There we go. I will look and try and scrounge any convoys. But I think we're ready to go for the time being. Whoops. Misclicked. There we go, we'll run the turn. Okay. So there, Cal. Not much, not much. The Gorzen. See, I watched an interesting video by Lindebage not too long ago, where he talks about, what was it called now, like the Raspberry Method. No, I can't remember what the actual name of the training was. But it was a very interesting form of training for, like, Allied, well, for British, well, Allied commanders. No Americans attended the course. But basically you'd have, like, these, convoys drawn out on the floor. And then you'd have, like, white chalk used to show their path, and then you'd have, like, all the ships would be, like, little white, like, markers. But then you'd have, like, the U-boats represented in brown, and their lines would be brown. But when the Allied commanders looked through these, like, little, like, viewing, like, slits, they'd, like, look through this weird film that basically, it, like, removes the colour brown. So they'd see only white. So it's interesting, it was basically used to train Allied commanders in convoy tactics and how to actually handle U-boat attacks and how to respond to them. Okay. But yeah, we should be able to arrest the supply situation in Japan itself in Honshu. We are moving, well, we will be moving vast amounts of resources automatically. And once we have this system up and running, then it's just a case of assigning escorts. Flying escorts as well, basically ASW missions. But eventually the fall of Singapore will come. And eventually the Dutch East Indies will fall, eventually the Philippines will fall too. Once we have those, we'll be able to set up a much more secure convoy system, taking resources from all over East Asia, which is going to be bloody needed. We need those resources now. Never mind in like a few months, we need them now. But we have the resources, we just need to move them. Okay. Look at all those planes. Trying to soften the enemy up, really. Well, we have... Ooh. Yeah. We have about 4 days worth of resources in Japan, in Honshu. I mean, we have them there. It's just they're spread out. They're not in the actual industrial centres. But we do need more resources in Japan. We need vastly more resources in Japan. We've gone through over 1 million tons. So we need to really step that up. Yeah, that can eat trees for a bit. It's the industrial resources that we need, really. I guess another 139, doing a lot of damage there. God, so many Mitchells. But at least our Zeros are now nearby so they can help respond. Right, so we lose a 0, which is a shame, but we destroy another Mitchell and damage 12 more. There are a lot of Mitchells here, they really are trying their goddamn hardest. Okay, fair enough. As long as they don't hit Palambang, which they probably will try. Okay, heavy fires. I'm not happy about losing Zeros, but at least we are taking out Mitchells. We'll see how this attack goes. If we keep them in the actual hex, we'll then launch a shock attack in the next turn, I do believe. I mean, the issue is we're low on supplies ourselves. But they are starting to crumble, which is very good. So if they don't retreat, we'll assault. Okay, they retreat. But they're going to take a lot of losses now. 3,000 casualties. That's a very nice amount there. That worries me. I might lose artillery. Right, deliberate attack at Iba. I mean, this is a very strong force. Which is going to take us some time to break it down. Especially as they're fortified. That's a lot of casualties. At least I could probably use my bombardment over there. Allied shock attack, yep, they're fucked. That's a lot of enemy troops. Right, okay. I mean, that's a big loss there. They did lose 396 casualties though, which is rather interesting. And they did lose almost the same amount of guns. So a division sent that way could actually deal with that quite easily. But that's actually a fair amount of troops there. Fuck me, that's so many Chinese forces. I do have a couple divisions in Shanghai to move out. It might be one of those where we might move a division back up north just to make sure we have enough troops. Or even troops from Manchuria. We'll see how things go, really. Okay. So, let's see, what is the amount of resources in Tokyo? So Tokyo's resources are going up. Osaka's... Kyoto's going down, obviously. But they will increase. It's just the sheer amount of resource volume that we need in Japan. So we produce 100,000 tons in Japan itself, but we need over 200,000 tons every day. So yes, we need to really, ideally, be moving at least 100,000 tons into Japan every single day. Which is easier said than bloody well done. Let's move you over that way, you can unload supplies then. So loading troops. I'm really worried about my fighters over here, so what I'm going to do actually is make sure everybody's set to combat air patrol. We're not going to be doing any long-range missions. So what I'm going to do is instead take the Vals. Have them operate on ground attack, really. Just trying to annihilate these forces. Let's go, Butai. Why do they do this to me? Stop trying to retire, you son of a bitch. God damn it. Where are the Mitchells coming from? Can you bomb the airfields? They're coming from Java. The issue is I have bombed some of the airfields. I bombed the airfield over here, which is probably no longer damaged. But the issue is they have a huge amount of planes over this way. At least a large amount of planes. And a lot of industry to actually repair that damage. Kitabutai has taken a lot of losses to her fighter complement. So in reality, it's like I can establish dominance over there. It's just, it's a very big risk at the moment. I need to actually help myself out. So what I'm trying to do is actually allow my land-based fighters to be able to hold their own for the time being. So what we need is really to actually increase the amount of aviation support around here. To be honest, what I'd be tempted to do is actually have the escort carriers unload planes potentially over here. Well, actually potentially over here at Mersing, at least then they don't get blown the fuck up. And then have the escorts move into the port over here, so then at least we can actually pick up the fighters and carry them away to safety in Malaya. Which is probably a good idea. I think be what I should do. Okay, these guys just bombard and defend, really. The Americans are so bloody stubborn here. So stubborn. It really is pissing me off. I'm just going to have to starve them out, really. Eventually they will crack. Or I'll just have to send more forces. Which is not great. Okay, they'll arrive soon. So that's another submarine tender, which is going to be great. Okay. Over here by the Aleutian. Not seeing too much. In fairness, let's see. If I operate near Canada, well, basically this area over here could work out quite well. See how that goes. They're moving out. Yeah, so division's being sent over there. The temporary division. Wow, excuse me. God damn. Killing myself here. Division is moving over there to deal with those forces, that'd be good. Right, good, we're now able to move on the base. Move north. What we're trying to do here is just establish control of southern China now. At least this area of China. And once we have it, that will be great. Like, it will definitely... It's going to mean more supplies coming in, more resources coming in. But ultimately, it will mean that a lot of these forces can be sent then elsewhere. Oh, the 9th Division's actually arrived. Yeah, bless you, thank you. That'd be really good. Yeah, so I probably... let's see. Surely the best place to harass the Allies is somewhere around Panama and Indian Ocean. Yeah, well, you'd think so. It's just the sheer distance. There's not going to be many ships going through Panama at the moment. We'll have to see. Yeah, don't die. Who else is going to play this game? There's a few other people that are definitely better than me. I mean, this series, we are starting to learn a lot more, so eventually we will do a new one, but I probably will do a new one in a mod. That is even more complex, just to actually freshen things up, really. But we'll see. We'll see how we're going on. Like, all this is what we should have been doing from the very start, but hey, we live and learn. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Is that over here? Make sure they start loading up. At least then we can move a good amount of resources in Japan, into Japan, sorry, quite nicely. So that's a good 100,000 tons potentially. I mean, like, how many resources do we produce over here? Some. Not a bad amount, actually. Still loading. Still loading. Right, we could use these ships for escorts, basically. Right. Start loading. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of random speed there. Right, head into Ominato, and then we'll have you separated. The 18s can go to Toyohara, as well as the 14s could potentially go to Sapporo, or Toyohara. Right, 10s load. There we go. Strange, that one. But oh well. If I have to manually command that one, I will. Good, more arriving. Still loading. They'll arrive shortly. Very good. How strange. Could do is a fly over here. God, they are so slow for some reason. Okay. Have them head to... I mean, you can see that the resources are going down here, so we do need to use them elsewhere. I think they could head to Sapporo. Sapporo. Something like Sapporo. Whatever. I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. As you guys can gather. Not going to use that. Okay. We need to invade down here. ASAP. Once I actually capture something, I could get some engineers over then. Not from here, though. That sucks. I could potentially have them travel by a ship over here, but I need to get ships around. But we'll see how the situation develops. But that is all we have time for today. So thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. If you've enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed this content, if you enjoy the channel, then please do consider supporting me via Patreon, PayPal, however you'd like, as it really does help the channel out. So thank you so very much, and a little bit of a notice for the future. I will be streaming again for Matrix on the Matrix channel on Twitch. I will be doing the War in the West. Sorry, the War in the East, the Vistula to the Rhine scenario. So that's going to be very, very exciting. So until next time, guys, thank you and goodbye.